Hello, Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead. Coming to you today on week 2 of the stay-home order here at Michigan. And, well, things have progressed nicely. Let me show you what I've been working on over the last few weeks. So if you've been following us on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, you know that I've had a project I've been working on for the last few weeks. Well, I finally got it mostly complete, and I'm ready to show you guys what it is. Here we go. This is our new greenhouse in all of its glory. Now, it started off its life as a just tubular frame for a 10 by 17 foot portable garage from Harbor Freight. We had one that had seen better days. We'd had it for almost 4 years, and the tarp had been torn to bits. So it was time to replace the tarp, and so I decided to not let good product go to waste, and we took the tubular frame and we used it to begin building this. I didn't document the build process as much as I would have liked because, well, let's just be honest. It takes a lot of time in order to document stuff while you're building. And I was just kind of in a mood to just get stuff done. So let me just describe to you what we did. We followed some of the building tips from other homesteaders or even professional gardeners who had converted similar carports into greenhouses. And it started off by finding a place to install and set up the frame itself. And then from there, we attached 1x4 treated lumber to the inside edge of the openings of the frame and along the bottom of the frame down, like you can see right across here. See this treated lumber right here? All right. So once we got that done, then it was just a matter of stretching the plastic over the frame. And then attaching it with some 1x2 strips to that 1x4 we had screwed to the metal frame. And so we're basically sandwiching the plastic in between those two pieces of wood. And then from there, I just began to build out these end caps. Now, most of what is used on these end caps here is stuff that we have reclaimed from the trash. So the windows there and all those windows there is stuff that I had been, doing some not dumpster diving, but driving by on the rural roads, and we see some windows out in the trash, and I'm like, ooh, those could come in handy. All the plywood is from pallets that, and actually most of the 2x4 material is all from pallets that we picked up at a local tractor dealer, crates that their implements come in and stuff of that nature. The black material, hold on a second, let me turn around here. The black material up here is some material that was left over at a roofing job at a friend's house. About the only thing we did purchase for this. I am going to say that the tubular frame here is a reclaimed material because I actually only bought that tent garage, that portable garage from Harbor Freight specifically for the tarp. So I'm going to claim that the frame here has been reclaimed. So really the only investment that we have is in the 1x material that we use to sandwich the plastic in that we had bolted and screwed to the frame. The landscape fabric that we have on the ground underneath of the mulch. And well, obviously the plastic and the treated lumber that I have over here in this bed. Now I am using some AC2 pressure treated lumber that we purchased. We're using that for our raised beds, only because this is the stuff that's been copper treated. It has not been treated with the arsenic like that old stuff, and pretty much all of your treated lumber nowadays does not have the arsenic in it. So it's perfectly fine to grow crops in, as long as you're not eating the wood itself. So I got two planting tables back here. These are some materials that we'd reclaimed from some tractor pallets as well. Just really happy with the way things are going. Today is our first day fully sealed. And let me flip the camera around here. Actually, let me just show you guys real quick. So look right up here, we got a thermometer. And with all 4 windows and the door open with the screen in here, we're pushing right at about 82 to 83 degrees in the shade. So I would say that this greenhouse is definitely going to be extending our growing season here in Michigan. Well, that's what we've been working on this is one of the projects we've been working on over the last few weeks. We finished up syrup season. It wasn't as good of a syrup season as we would have liked, just due to the fact that the weather was just so crazy. We warmed up really fast here at the end of March, and we just didn't get a full 3 to 4 weeks of sap flow. So the syrup season wasn't quite as good as I would have liked. We did it up with about 1.5 gallons, which would be enough to, barely eke us by through the year here. But yeah, it's just going to be a crazy growing season. I have a feeling. It feels like things are starting off really early here in Michigan. The garlic's already sprouted. I've already got radishes growing where we had our radishes last year, where we allowed them to go to seed and drop. Man, things have just gotten absolutely crazy around here. And there's no better time to get things growing than when you're in the middle of a food crisis in some of the areas here in the United States. Well, I'm going to take you guys for a quick look at some rabbits, just show you how everybody's going, talk to you about breeding and stuff like that real quick, and then we'll take off for the day. So we've already done our spring breeding, we're expecting babies in anywhere from 1.5 weeks to 2 weeks. So it's going to be a pretty exciting time here as we get actually a little closer to Easter. We should be able to have a couple babies born. So let me just show you guys what we got going on here. So here's Sweet Pea. She came to the homestead shortly after Christmas. And she was super overweight and about 3 years old, never been bred. So we're doing a little experiment with her to see if we can actually get a breeding to take on a rabbit that has never been bred before they turned 1 year old. Because rule of thumb is that once a female goes past maybe 2 years without being bred, that she's beyond the point of being able to be bred ever. So we're going to give it a shot and see what we can do, see if we can get some babies out of her. She's an absolutely beautiful rabbit. She won Best of Show a couple times when she was shown at 4-H shows in the by her last owners. So we're really excited to see what we might get out of her. But more importantly, just excited to see whether or not we can get any babies at all. And these guys here are the grow outs. These are Midnight's babies. I don't know if you were watching them grow around Christmas time, but they have fully grown out, and it's going to be just about time for those guys to go to freezer camp in a few weeks. We did our spring breedings with the American chinchillas, so we're really excited to see what we get out of them. Really hoping that Eleanor, the doe, took, and hoping that Louis, the buck, produced the way we needed him to. Now, what we did do is I did breed her, Eleanor, our American chinchilla doe. I did breed her with a known successful buck because I didn't want to breed her right away with Louis because, well, when we're doing our first breedings, we want to breed successful to new. And yeah, I know, I need to replace that tarp there. We had some wind come through these last few days and really shake things up around here. So that tarp's getting replaced. Don't worry, folks. And so it's really important for us that we breed a known good rabbit to a new rabbit that we've introduced into our breeding program. Because if we have an issue with them not producing, we'll know for sure that it's them and not the 2 new rabbits. Otherwise, we would have to do another test breeding again. So we did a known good Californian buck over Eleanor and a known good Californian doe under Louis in order to make sure that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt whether or not they are the ones producing. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. We're reaching that mark where I'm just going to start rambling if I keep going. So thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate you sticking in there. I know that this winter was a little dull for us. We had a hard time getting stuff out just because, well, honestly, I was doing so much. I was struggling trying to find that balance between getting videos recorded and actually getting work done. And when you're working towards being a little more self-sufficient, getting things done trumps putting out videos every day. But thanks for hanging in there. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you don't miss any updates as we get more stuff done in the greenhouse here, so you don't miss out on the gardening that's going to be going on. We're going to be working on getting everything planted over here in the garden. We've got about a third of the way fully mulched in. We hope to get some more mulch here in the coming weeks so we can get that finished up. Otherwise, I'll start using grass clippings as the mowing begins. Thank you so much for joining us, and as always, God bless.